welcome to Newsmakers. I'm your host, Nancy Lewis. Today we're going to be talking about SJR 39, some education funding in Missouri. We're here today at Truman Medical Centers, Kansas City's essential hospitals, and we're here today with Missouri State Representative Judy Morgan. Thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
So let's start with SJR. Missouri's controversial religious freedom bill. It didn't make it out of committee this week.
Right.
It had a lot of business opposition.
Very much so.
Talk to me a little bit about where you stood on that bill and your feelings about it not making it out of committee.
Actually, I was very much against it, as were almost all my constituents. I got many communications from my constituents who opposed it. I was glad it did not make it out of committee because if it had gone to the House floor, I'm not absolutely sure. I think it might have been kind of close. So I think sometimes if you can get it stopped in committee, that's the best way to do it.
So do you think that the Chamber of Commerce out there, do you think that the businesses that were speaking out, do you think that was the driving factor in it not making it out of committee?
Well, I think that was a big part of it, most definitely, because I think the Missouri Chamber, the Kansas City Chamber, the St. Louis Chamber, all kind, MasterCard, Monsanto. I mean, I had a small Mexican restaurant in my district, Rudy's Taqueria, that wrote me asking me to be in opposition to it. So it was from small to large businesses. But I think another thing that happened, the deciding vote in the committee was Representative Hansen, who is a Republican, and I was not able to attend the committee meeting myself because I had another one going on, but those who attended said he gave a very impassioned plea at the end of how he came to his decision, and he said it was his family a lot that talked to him about it and convinced him that the right thing to do was to vote against it, and he was the deciding vote that then created the tie. I mean, if it's a tie, then it's defeated.
So what message do you think that this sends for similar bills in Missouri in the future?
Well, I think it sends a good message. I also think it sends a message that we want to be a welcoming state in Missouri, that we do not want to discriminate against any particular person or any group of people. And I think that's a very good message. I think it sends a message to business that we welcome, that we realize there's talented individuals in all walks of life, and we want to work with everybody.
Let's talk just for a second about education in Missouri, education funding in Missouri. Do you think that funding for K-12 education is up to where it should be?
No, and in terms of our foundation formula, it's definitely not. It's about $500 million underfunded right now. It's been underfunded since about 2008, 2009, and right now the legislature has passed a bill. It's gone through both the House and the Senate. It's on the governor's desk now. That basically will just say, we're going to put less money into education, but we're going to say we fully funded it. So it's kind of like a bait and switch. We've told our school districts, this is how much money we think you should have to educate your kids. It's about $6,800 per student, but we're only going to give you $6,200, and we're going to call it fully funded. So this is what we thought you needed, but now we don't think you need that much to educate your kids, so we're going to give you less money. We anticipate that the governor may veto it, and so then we'll just see where it goes from there.
In 15 seconds or less, permitless carry of guns.
Yes, that is where we now have, if you conceal and carry a gun, you have to get a permit to carry it. It has to be on you, and that also involves some training, some firearms safety training to get that permit. This law would do away with all of that. You could conceal and carry with no permit and with no training.
And your thought is?
I am against that bill wholeheartedly.
Right. Wish we had more time to talk.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for being here. We hope to see you next time on Newsmakers.